I would say this myMix is just beautiful and able to really flow with a project. You can just let them have all personal control, so you're not always having to communicate and having to like, oh, this up, this down, you know. They're on it. They're like, oh, I get it, and they're applying everything they need to do. Makes everything quicker, makes everything fluid, and you just get a better, quicker session in, which and just it's fluid. That's all I got to put for it.
It allows production to go really quickly too, especially if you're doing like even pre-production for a record, or for me, I have session musicians who come in who know myMix really well now because they've used my system so well. So if I just come in with a guide track with just an acoustic guitar and a vocal, and I'm like, all right, so these are the pre-pro, these are the ideas, we'll go in and do that. I already have, before they come in, all the tracks set up for drums, I have all the tracks set up for guitars, everything ready to go, and then the sends sent to myMix. So all they do is they pull up their sticks and they start going and they can hear what they're doing. And I feel like 90% of what a musician plays, especially when you get into really great musicians, I mean tone, especially when you're thinking tone for guitars, it's in the fingertips, it's not in the amp, it's not in the guitar, it's not in, you can have like a really great musician make a really bad guitar sound good. But a lot of it is how they hear themselves. If they're not hearing themselves well, like if they're not hearing what they're playing well, then they don't know how to affect it or how they should be playing it differently. It also inspires different parts, you know, if someone can hear themselves. For me, I didn't realize it until I started bringing toms into the sends, because before I would just put, you know, kick, snare, overheads into the drum channel for the send for the first one, which is 9 on our channel. And then, you know, it would be good, but there was, when you can hear, there's something about when a drummer hears their toms really loud that they're like, oh wow, now I can like play these. Yeah, they groove with it. It's like they go Phil Collins on every part, which is good and bad, but I love it. Like it makes when you're doing stuff, not just like on the mini side, when you're doing things with real musicians who the creative life of your song is dependent upon how they hear themselves, it's essential to have a good mix and something that's quick, because if they're in the groove and you say, oh right, this is the idea, if it takes too long for them to fiddle around with it, and then the magic is gone.